I'm going to talk today about HOCD or homosexual OCD. This will be my second video on the subject and probably not the last one. For those of you suffering with it, I'm so sorry. I know how terrible it feels, and I think the sexual obsessions tend to be the worst in a lot of ways. I know because they just feel like they're just so difficult to talk about. I think a lot of us feel really ashamed of having them. So, and I also understand what it's like to get an obsession and want nothing more than to trade it for any other obsession, and then of course you get another one, and yeah. Anyway, let's get started. Um, so the first thing I want to say is that sexual orientation is confusing for everyone, and I know it's more confusing if you have OCD because we overvalue our thoughts. Like, we have maybe a sexual dream and we think, oh my god, what did that mean, and we can't get over it, and it just keeps going, and then all of a sudden we have this obsession and bam. When maybe for someone without OCD, it's just a dream. It's nothing. It's not a big deal. And I think that's really important because I think this overvaluing of thoughts, it leads to so much stress. Obviously, OCD is incredibly stressful. And we end up using these, like, maladaptive coping techniques to try to fix it. And we try to use logic to rationalize it. And we all know this doesn't work because then we have to do it all the time. Examples would be like this all or nothing thinking, like, oh, I had a dream and it was this way, and so therefore now I'm this way. And it's really not how it works. Can you imagine if, like, you ate one orange without seeds, and then the next 10 you had seeds in it, and you use that one orange to say, like, well, that's just the way it is. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The other thing we do is we try to avoid triggers. Like, we try to avoid looking at certain images, or dressing a certain way, or watching certain shows, or whatever. And then we also design these rituals to prove or disprove our sexuality, which doesn't always work. It rarely does, actually. An example would be, like, we look at somebody that we know is attractive, or we think we're attracted to them, and we get so stressed out waiting for our sexual response. Like, okay, am I aroused? I'm waiting for it. And that stress ends up kind of killing it, because stress and sex are really not very friendly to each other. So that doesn't work. And then on the opposite side of things, like, accidentally maybe catch a glimpse of something that you don't want to see because it's a trigger for you. And then you think, oh my god, am I aroused? And then you wait for that stimulation or that feeling of arousal, and then you may even feel something, but that's a biological response. So it's like you can't really use that test. It doesn't really work. And that's why before I've talked about, waiting for a really, really good day and not testing yourself, but some thoughtful, honest questioning, where you can think, okay, who do I want to have sex with? Who do I love? Who am I attracted to? That's really what it is. That's what orientation is. And I know it sounds simple and it might take some time, but that's okay. It's just going to take a little time. The next I want to talk about is that there is no latent or secret self. It's not like there's a secret gay self that, one day just, phew, there it is. And I think sometimes maybe we worry that that's the case because, like, what if I'm in denial? What if I just don't see it? What if, all that kind of stuff. Or we hear stories of people coming out really late in life, and we think they discovered it really late in life. But it's really not like that. Especially if you ask most gay people, they'll tell you they knew from a very early age they were gay. Like, I had my first crush on a girl when I was really young. So it's not a case of, like, this journey of self-discovery. It's not, I don't think of it as, like, having this curtain over my eyes and then one day it's like, oh, okay, I see now. It's more like putting the pieces together a little bit. And I'm not saying, like, analyze, like, your behavior or your characteristics, because I know there are gay stereotypes people watch for, like, oh, is my music gay? Does that mean something? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what it honestly means to be gay or straight. Who are you attracted to? Who do you want to have sex with? Who do you fall in love with? That's what I'm talking about. And I just want you guys all to know that it's a struggle and it's just a challenging thing, but you can do it just like any other obsession, and it's just going to take a little time. But anyways, the last thing I want to say is I'm going to do another video where I answer some questions because I get a lot. So if you have any questions about this topic, you want me to go over it in my next video, I'll do that. Anyways, take care and stay strong.